Hi guys, this video is about active and passive voice. One of the fastest ways to improve your speaking skills or writing skills in English is to understand the difference between active and passive voice and to adopt the usage of active voice as often as possible. But to do that, we need to know and understand the difference between active and passive voice. So this video here is going to unfold a lot of details with understanding. Let's dig in. So before we get into the details of active and passive, let us look at these basic terms that are associated with it. We have the subject, the verb, and the object. What is the subject? The subject in the sentence is the doer of the action in the sentence. So it's the person that is performing the action, the performer or the actor of the sentence. The verb is the action or the work that is performed in the sentence. Yeah? What is the object? Object is the person or the thing which faces the action. Or object is the thing on which the action is worked upon. We'll take a look at some sentences for better understanding. So, in the sentence, India can win all matches. India is performing the action. So, the doer of the sentence or the subject is India. Win is the verb because that is the action that is performed in the sentence. Now, what is India going to win? Matches. So, matches is the object, because that is what the action is being performed on. So India is the subject, win is the verb, matches is the object. Now if we want to say this in active voice, we will say, this year India can win all matches. So in an active voice, we have the subject in the beginning of the sentence. If we have to construct this in passive voice, we will say, this year all matches can be won by India. So if you take a close look, you'll see in the passive voice, the subject goes to the end of the sentence. An object comes in the beginning of the sentence. Matches comes in the beginning, and India, the subject, goes to the end. Let us look at a few other examples. God loves the children. Active voice. God is the performer or the subject. Loves is the action, and children is the object. But when we have to say this in passive, we would say the children are loved by God. So the object, the children, comes in the beginning of the sentence, and God, the subject, goes at the end. Let us look at another example. A mother plays a vital role in a child's life. So a mother is the subject here. Plays is the verb. What does she play? A vital role. So that is the object. But in passive, we say a vital role, the object coming in the beginning, is played. Played is the verb here, by a mother. So mother, the subject, goes at the end of the sentence. So this is how we construct sentences in active and passive. So in the sentence, India can win all matches. India is performing the action. So the doer of the sentence or the subject is India. Win is the verb because that is the action that is performed in the sentence. Now what is India going to win? Matches. So matches is the object because that is what the action is being performed on. So India is the subject, win is the verb, matches is the object. Now if we want to say this in active voice, we will say, this year India can win all matches. So in an active voice, we have the subject in the beginning of the sentence. If we have to construct this in passive voice, we will say, this year all matches can be won by India. So if you take a close look, you'll see in the passive voice, the subject goes to the end of the sentence. An object comes in the beginning of the sentence. Matches comes in the beginning, and India, the subject, goes to the end. Let us look at a few other examples. God loves the children. Active voice. God is the performer or the subject. Loves is the action, and children is the object. But when we have to say this in passive, we would say the children are loved by God. So the object, the children, comes in the beginning of the sentence. And God, the subject, goes at the end. Let us look at another example. A mother plays a vital role in a child's life. So, a mother is the subject here. Plays is the verb. What does she play? A vital role. So, that is the object. But in passive, we say a vital role, the object coming in the beginning, is played. Played is the verb here, by a mother. So, mother, the subject, goes at the end of the sentence. So this is how we construct sentences in active and passive. So now we have the trick to differentiate between an active voice and a passive voice. Now what is the difference? What's the catch? In an active voice, the subject leads the sentence. So the subject is in the beginning of the sentence, while the object is at the end of the sentence. On the contrary, in a passive voice, the object leads the sentence. So the object is in the beginning, while the subject moves to the end of the sentence. That's the catch. Now we look at constructing some affirmative sentences in active voice. What is the structural formula? We have the subject plus helping verb plus main verb plus object. Now, are you thinking what are helping verbs? Now, is, am, were, was, can, could, may, might, these are all helping verbs. Children can learn everything very fast. Children is the subject here, can is the helping verb, learn is the main verb, everything is the object. Now, please remember that helping verb is essential to construct every affirmative sentence. We can actually do away with the helping verb and can also make a sentence and still make it sound meaningful. For example, we could do away with the can in the sentence that we just discussed and have the sentence as children learn everything very fast. Equally sensible and correct. But we are not using the can, the helping verb, in the sentence. The next example, He exercises daily to stay fit. He is the subject, exercises is the verb, to stay fit is the object. So if you see, there is no helping verb in the sentence. Exercises is the only and the main verb. Yeah? Everybody will watch this match. Everybody is the subject. Will is the helping verb here. Watch is the main verb. And match is the object. So these are the rules that you got to keep in mind while constructing an affirmative sentence in active voice. So now we look at constructing some negative sentences in active voice. What is the structural formula? We have the subject plus helping verb plus not plus main verb plus object. Now remember, in a negative sentence, not is introduced to have the negative meaning in the sentence. So what is it that we have to have? The subject plus helping verb plus not plus main verb plus object. Let's look at examples. Ants do not bite other ants. So the subject here is ants do not. So do is the helping verb, and then we have not. Bite is the main verb. Other ants is the object. If we look at the next example, they did not like the taste of the dish. So they is the subject. Did is the helping verb. Not, as we are supposed to put a negative word here to make it negative. Like is the main verb. The taste of the dish, the object. So they did not like the taste of the dish. Ram will not return your money today. So Ram is the subject, the doer in the sentence. Will is the helping verb. Then we have not. Return is the main verb. What? Ram will not return your money. So money is the object here. So this is the way to construct a negative sentence in active voice. Okay, so now we look at constructing questions in active voice. What is the formula? We have the WH word or the question word, then the helping verb plus subject plus main verb plus object. Yeah? Let's look at the first example. How many people met you? Now in this sentence, how many is the question word, people is the subject, met is the verb, the main verb, and you is the object. Now notice here, there is no helping verb. I have mentioned already that helping verb is not really essential for every sentence, right? So this is a sentence without a helping verb. Let's look at the next example. Where were you waiting for me? So where is my question word, were is my helping verb. So this is a question with a helping verb in it. You is the subject, waiting is the verb, the main verb, and me is the object. Where were you waiting for me? When should I call you? When is my question word, should is my helping verb, I is the subject, call is the main verb, and you is the object. So that is questions in active voice. Oh, so that was quite a lot. We have covered the entire active voice. So we'll move on to the passive voice. What are the basic rules of a passive voice sentence? Now we know it definitely is led by an object, the sentence, and it ends with the subject. So what's the structural formula? We have the object plus the form of the verb be plus
the verb in its third form. Take a note here. The verb will be in its third form, that is the participle form, plus by subject. That's the basic construction. So object plus form of be plus third form of verb plus by subject. Now, what do we understand by forms of the be verb? I told you before as well that there are different forms of the verb be. In simple present tense, it can be is, am, are. Simple past tense, it is was, were. In continuous tense, it becomes being. Future, we use it as just be. And in perfect tense, we say has been, have been. So we'll look at more details to understand better. Okay, so now we have affirmative sentences in passive voice. What is the structural formula? We have the object plus the form of the verb be plus third form of the main verb plus the subject. Let's take a look at the sentences. For your understanding, what we have done here is we have first put the statement or the sentence in active voice, and then we have converted it into passive voice. So that will help you understand the conversion as well. Okay, let's take a look. India has won the match. India is the subject, has is the helping verb, won is the verb, match is the object. So that's my active voice. Look at the active voice formula to clarify. Now, if I am given to convert this to passive, I would say the match has been won by India. The match, my object, comes in the beginning. Has been is the form of be. Won is the third form of the verb. By India. India is the subject here because India is playing the match. In the next sentence, the police can catch the thief soon. That is active. In passive, it would be the thief can be caught by the police soon. So who was to be caught? The thief. The object comes to the beginning of the sentence. Can be, can is the helping verb and be is the form of the verb be, right? Caught, third form of the verb, by the police, the subject. So this is how you construct an affirmative sentence in passive voice. Yeah? So now it's time for negative sentences in passive voice. What's the formula? We have the object to begin with, plus the form of be verb, plus not, plus third form of the main verb, plus by subject. So let us look at examples. Teacher will not take a surprise test tomorrow. This is in active voice. In passive voice, we would say now we will construct some questions with passive voice. So we've almost come to the end of the video. So let's do this real quick and be a little patient while we understand this. Now, in the formula, we have the WH word plus the be verb plus object plus third form of verb, the main verb that is, and by. Now, if you take a look, oh, that was quite a bit that we covered. Finally, the exercise. But before we move on, a quick advice. Now we have a grip of both active and passive voice, right? But let me tell you what is commonly used in English is active voice. It's much simpler and easier to use. Passive voice is required only in certain scenarios, like informal situations, especially in news reports. Passive voice is used.
It is deliberately used when you do not want to mention the name of the subject who did the action or performed the action, or in cases where you actually do not know who the subject is. That is when you use passive voice. So refrain from using passive voice unnecessarily. Active voice, remember, is always simple and easy to use, and you'll make less mistakes that way. So let us look at the sentences here. We have to read and understand what voice would those sentences be in. The first one, how much fruit do you want to buy? Active voice. The bus stopped working. Active voice. The tire was punctured. Now this is a typical sentence I was talking about. The tire was punctured. So the tire, the object, was punctured, the verb, by somebody, the subject at the end, a passive voice. However, we do not know who punctured it. We do not know who the subject was, so we are not using any subject here. And we are saying the tire was punctured and a full stop. This money won't last long. Active voice. This news can't be leaked. Passive voice. So news is the object. It can't be leaked by somebody. Again, the subject is missing. Who was selected? Passive voice. Who was selected? By somebody. Somebody did the selection process, but we don't know. It's saying who was selected. I got the first prize today. Active voice. Terrorists will get captured. So terrorist is the object, will get captured. Captured is the verb. So who will capture the terrorists? We don't know. The terrorists will get captured. Passive voice. The subject is missing. Captured by somebody. This topic has been covered in class. So passive voice, because this topic is the object. This topic has been covered in class by some teacher. But that is missing. The subject is missing in the sentence. I told you that in English, in most cases, when we use passive voice, is when we do not know who the subject is, or we don't want to mention the subject. Ram is laughing loudly. Active voice. I hope this clarifies, guys.
Okay, so now we have about 4 sentences in passive voice. What we have to do is to convert them into active voice. So I'll give you some time to think, go through the sentence, and decide for your answers, and I'll clarify your answers right here. Okay, hope you've gone through the sentences. Let's clarify with what you've thought. The dinner had been eaten by all of them. Passive voice. In active, it would be they had eaten all the dinner. Who was it written by? Passive. Active is who wrote it. Were you offended by him? Passive. In active, I would say, did he offend you? Why wasn't the roof fixed by them? Passive. In active, it would be why didn't they fix the roof? Alright, so these are conversions from passive to active voice. So I have already told you in my previous videos, remember that grammar and English is all about practice and usage. The more you practice, the more you use it while speaking, the more perfect you become. There is no other trick. So let's practice more and become perfect. Hope this video helps you guys. If you like the video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get more such insights, and if you want to become more confident while speaking English, join the Unnati English Workshop. Visit us at unti.in/eng. And for any comments that you may have, please type in the comment section below and subscribe to our channel.
Thank you for watching.